Thanks for watching the replay of the ADHD webinar, which I delivered last night. It's different. If you're here to hear what you normally hear, then you're in the wrong place. Let this replay challenge you. Let it expand your mind. Let it be something that needs to sit in and sink in, because that's what it's designed to do. You're not going to hear what you expect, I promise you that. But if you actually pay attention, if you actually participate, if you actually observe this knowledge, which will be different, but use it in your own life, it will change your viewpoint on ADHD, anxiety, mental health, but the same data applies for your relationships, your friendships, your business, your sales, your marketing. It all applies. So yes, you're on the ADHD webinar, but this will help your business and your life if you're open to hearing something different. Don't skip ahead. Don't jump. This builds on a very logical path towards a conclusion that will blow your mind. And I have a gift for you at the end. So get ready, let's start, and welcome to the ADHD webinar replay. So Ridian and I just finished a great coaching session.
Yeah.
How was it?
It was amazing. Next level, like always.
And how did it go since we started?
My business has been improving every day.
4 times in the last 3 months of growth, no?
Yeah.
Gal's answers and tools and everything was nothing I was expecting.
Beyond my wildest expectations. Be prepared to be beyond wow.
I realized how I could be more cause in my life, how I have more control over situations. So yeah, it was really amazing. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Gal is very professional and he will guide you and help you in a way that you could really use this knowledge in your life.
I just want to say thank you, Gal, for amazing webinar, and I applied everything I learned.
But the wonderful thing about Gal, he has great energy, he has command of the subject, he's clear, he will answer as many questions as you have. He's just an overall amazing teacher.
I want to mention how effective this program was for me.
Hey.
And I am very impressed with the results.
What Gal is teaching in G Prosperity, it has the extra thing, and that extra thing really moved the needle for me.
What I have studied with Gal, I'm using the concepts, the tools for my everyday life here.
Gal responded to every question that I had.
Super mind-blowing. In literally 4 hours, it was basically giving the answer to all my problems I've ever had since birth to now.
I'm so happy. I really recommend you to take this program. Gal is amazing. He's a great teacher and an awesome person.
Okay, welcome everyone. It's so nice to have you here. We are starting on a journey of ADHD, mental health, and really resolving problems in general. We are starting. Today, nothing I say is true. Nothing I say today is true. And that's a weird thing to start with. Nothing I tell you today is true. Unless it's true for you. Nothing I say today is true unless it's true for you. We're talking about a subject that you probably have very strong views on. I'm going to challenge it. I'm going to challenge your views. But it doesn't mean that you have to take it. It also doesn't mean you have to fight me. You just need to listen, understand, and make your decision. Nothing I say today is true unless it's true for you. Okay. Hi, Lauren from OK Lauren Daily. Hi, Lizette. So do I have your agreement on that? Yes, Kiana from Florida. Hi, Bernard. Yes, I have your agreement on that. Good. Secondly, I love answering your questions. And so if you want to ask me anything, just stop me anytime in the chat. Stop me, ask your questions. So really the agreement here is that I want you to participate as you're doing in the chat. I want you to participate. Do I have your agreement on that? Yes, beautiful. Yes, Marielle. Okay, now participation means getting involved in the chat, asking the questions that come to your mind, giving your opinion. Really, give your opinion. Be involved. Make this yours. And I can promise you one thing. I will never make you wrong. I will never make less of you for putting your opinion forth, for asking a question. I will always make you more Because the truth is that you are much more than even you are willing to admit. You are much, much more. And that's what I'm here for, is to show you that you are much more than what you think. You have various limitations in your life in general. Everybody has certain things that they feel limited on. Maybe it's ADHD, maybe it's another mental health issue, maybe you have a physical limitation. I'm telling you, your limitations are not as limiting as you give them importance. It's true, you're amazing at seeing all viewpoints. Thank you, Kiana. Thank you. Okay, so after many years of coaching and helping people, I never found one person that is not 1,000,000 times more than they are willing to admit they are. So you are much, much, much more than you're willing to admit you are. And so I welcome you. I want to commend you for being here right now. Well done for doing this, for spending this time. You're investing in yourself. And that's the best investment you can make. And so as a thank you, I have a major gift worth over $1,990 for those that stay to the end. Sound good? Hi, Jason. Excellent. Yes, nice. Yeah, it is nice. Sounds good. Okay, good. Now, who am I? Firstly, many of you may not know me, some of you do, so just a very quick intro. My name is Gal Ezra. I'm on a mission to create 10,000 ethical millionaires. Will you be one of them? Ethical millionaire is not just a millionaire. It's somebody who's doing well in every part of life. With their friends, with their family, with their health, with their mindset. That's what I'm after. Yes, I like that. I'm a super successful entrepreneur who started from zero and who would have 100% been put on ADHD medications had my parents known better. My parents didn't let me go on medication because they knew better, but I would have been 100% diagnosed. I hated reading. I disrupted in class a lot. I was like the school clown. I was so disruptive. I was not a fan of school, believe it or not, at all. I was extremely hyperactive. I struggled with focus. I got super fixated on my belongings. Like I really would hate to share and my stuff was my stuff. And I was very like I had this like fixation. I seemed like I was all over the place, which is a major ADHD sign, etc. I would have been medicated. I would have 100% been labeled with ADHD. I can so relate. Yes, Curtis. And yet, I went on to become number one in my extremely exclusive high school. So I went to a high school that was the type of high school that preps you for the best universities in the world. It was many celebrity children, top celebrity children, like a very high level high school. I went to become number one there. I was on Concerta for my whole school career. Yes, I understand, Louise. Today we're going to see what we're going to do about that. I ended up being the student council president, which is a super prestigious position in this school. I passed every single exam. By the way, can you guess the passing standard at this school? It was a very good school. Most passing standards these days in most schools are like 50, 60%, something like that, right? We would have had Gal on drugs. Yes, Christoph. 75. Yeah, the passing standard at this school, not 80%, not 75, it was 100%. If you got less than 84%, you were sent to re-study. Like, that was where you flunked. That was a fail, 84%. Fails in most schools today is 33% or something. You have a very large margin to fail. Here, it was like, no, you need to learn. So I ended up going from this ADHD kid to a star student at this tough, challenging program. I ended up being a star student, and by 16, I did so well that I was a part of a select group of students to be invited to fly to Baton Rouge, Louisiana for 2.5 weeks to work with one of the worst schools in the state, ADHD students, tutoring them and teaching them how I learned. They sent a few of us to go and work with bad students there and help them with their ADHD because we had a way to succeed. We could take any ADHD student and bring results with them. So they wanted us to go and implement this program. So I know that many of you don't know that side of my story, but surprisingly, I know a lot about ADHD. Yes, it is. Wow. Yes. Since then, I've worked with countless people of all ages, from executives to children, helping them with their ADHD. Okay? So now let's start. Are you ready to start? I have a interactive, majorly interactive drill that I really need you to be a part of. So let's do this. Yes, let's go. Amazing. Thank you, Jody. So I want to ask you if you've experienced this, and I need you to interact in the chat. I need you to be a part of it fully with me. This is something that is the foundation for the rest of what we do today. Have you experienced the below? It can be you experienced it yourself, or you saw it with your children, or children of other parents, or with your friends, or with your colleagues. You've seen it in some way, shape, or form. And what you can do is say yes or no in the chat. Okay, that's what I need you to do. So I'm going to list many different things. You're going to say yes, no, yes, yes, that I've seen, no, yes, no, no, okay? Okay, here's the first one. ADHD doesn't let you pay attention or focus. Have you experienced that? Yes or no? Yes. Okay, good. You feel distracted. There are times you feel distracted. Yes, focus, yes. Okay. You feel like your mind is elsewhere. Yes, yes, good. I'm going to go through these quick and you could just yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. Despite all your efforts to do otherwise, you find yourself procrastinating. Always, yeah. Hi, guy. You unintentionally and uncontrollably interrupt people. Like in conversations, you find that you can't control yourself. Yes, no, yes, yes, no. Okay. You experience slumps at work. You're very active, then you slump. Oh, there's a decrease. Not really. Yes, yes, no, yes. Okay. You are uncontrollably late. You find yourself kind of losing track of time. Yes. You have problems with your children. And by the way, I'm going to read out your messages. Just be involved because we're taking this and using it. You feel your children are not doing as well as they should, and you suspect it's something to do with you. Amazing. Literally every single one. You feel annoyed with others who say they have ADHD. So people use the excuse, and you're like, oh, come on. Okay. You don't have a mental health problem, but you're affected by others that do. Maybe you have people that you work with or loved ones, and they have mental health problems. And it's like, oh my gosh, you don't know how to handle it. You're lonely, and yet you insist on social avoidance. On the one hand, you're lonely, but on the other hand, you don't like social situations. You constantly feel like you'll never get anything done. No, yes, yes, no. You wonder, what's wrong with me? And I'll let you in on a secret. Everything is right with you. You're bothered that your brain doesn't function like normal. You're frustrated and you take it out on your loved ones. You feel that whatever you do, the tasks are ahead of you. You somehow never manage to finish your tasks. Yes. And that's only some of the things. Big yes. It affects your sleep. You binge eat. It affects you sexually. You're not consistent with fitness. You feel like your health is slipping away. You feel like you don't fit in. Sometimes you feel like the Energizer Bunny on steroids. Sometimes it's hard to calm down. Other times you feel like you can't get going. In what ways does it affect you sexually? I think this, but I want to clarify what the average ADHD person experiences. This is really what it means for you. There's nothing specific here. You need to change work environments for productivity. You feel like you can't just work. You always need to change work environments. You wonder if anyone truly understands you. Short-term memory problem, like leaving the eggs on to boil. Like an example, you put the eggs on and you totally forget the eggs are on to boil. Some kind of different things like that, where you forget things. You consider you cannot learn. The normal school environment doesn't seem to work for you. You go into paralysis, like, getting frozen. I don't know what to do. I'm stuck. I'm not moving. I'm not progressing. I'm realizing how much this used to be me before learning from you, Mayor, and GP. Wow, Curtis, totally amazing. Wow. You zone out at times. You feel scattered. Big yes, yes. Okay. You feel stuck. You are always tired. You cannot maintain ideal relationships, etc. So we have a big list, okay? Now, I want you to remember what you said yes to on that list. If you are human, I know you said yes to more than one of those items on the list. And I have news for you. Everybody said yes to at least one item on the list, correct? Tired is a big one for me. Yes, Guy. Good. I forgot some of them. That's okay. You understand the general point. You have some that stuck out. You said yes. I have news for you. I have news for you. We are not going to handle those things you said yes to. We're not. We're not going to handle them. We're not going to solve them today at all. Now I'm sure you're like, what? Why? Why? Why not? Exactly what? Why? Why are we not going to solve those? Okay, it's in the past, I'm perfect. No, but you have a major visible symptoms. You have something that's happening. You see something that's going on. There's something happening. Ah, interesting. Why not? Not the root. It's a symptom. They're manifestations. It's not the problem. Yeah, it's not the cause. It's just the symptoms. Very smart. When you see a problem, it means something else caused it. Okay? If I see a car accident, it means that something else caused it. The guy was drunk. Now I see a car accident, but what I don't see is that he was drinking earlier. If I have ADHD and right now I have a focus problem, something else caused it. If right now I have plants and the plants are dying and going yellow, I see yellow plants, something else is causing it. So trying to solve the problem and not what caused it is destructive. You have to understand that. I'm going to explain this to you a lot today. If I see an accident, what caused it was a drunk driver. If I have a headache, what caused it is I haven't had water for 2 days. I'm dehydrated. Okay? If I'm going gray, it's because I started a business. Okay, that's why I go gray, right? Something happened before. Okay? So there's something happening before. Right now you see the gray hair, you see the symptom. But if I try to solve the gray hair, it's not going to be resolved. If I try to solve the headache by taking a pill for the headache, I won't resolve the fact that I'm dehydrated. So there's a different source for the apparent problem. There's a different source for the apparent problem. Those things you said yes to on the list, every point that you said yes to on the list, now get this, whatever you said yes to on the list, we know are not the source of the problem. They're just a symptom. It's just a symptom of something beneath it. It's very fascinating once you look at that. Ah, yes. So what do you know if those are only the symptoms? What do you know? If those are only the symptoms, and we just found a lot of different symptoms, what do you know? What's for sure? Like, oh, obviously the conclusion. Any idea? Something else, yes. Exactly. The cause of the problem is something else. Exactly. Very well done, yes. And more accurately, the cause is before. The cause is before. It's before, and it's not genetics. Yeah. Let me show you. Okay, I want to show you something. Just give me a moment here. I want to show you something. So this is just a quick visualization of it that I think will help you to understand what I mean. Have a look. If I have this as a problem, okay, car accident, you understand that before the car accident, there was a series of things that happened that led to the problem. So I had this happen, and then this happened, and this happened, this is I have a problem. So for example, here is the car accident, the problem. What happened over here is the guy was a drunk driver. What happened before the drunk driver is the fact that he was at the bar drinking late. What happened before that is that he has some emotional arguments and problems with his wife. The reason for that is actually because he's cheating on her. The reason for that is because he dropped his responsibility some time ago. The reason he dropped his responsibility is because he had some confusions in his life, some losses. The reason that he had some losses is because he had some fake realities, some problems that were fake realities that created confusions. And really, it's because here he had something he didn't understand early on. Okay? And there's more and more and more and more reasons. But what you see today, a car accident here, this big thing here, is actually a series of occurrences that led to this point. And if I try to handle him being a drunk driver, again and again and again, all I'm handling is drunk driver guy. I'm telling him, don't drink, stop drinking, stop drinking, stop drinking, stop drinking. It's not going to work. How many times do you tell a drunk driver, don't drink, and they still drink? They end up losing control because you're not solving the right source of the problem. It gets worse because things happened before. Are you with me? Okay, good. Now, if I have a problem, and that problem is my plants are yellow, okay, I have my plants are going yellow, they're dying. What happened before that is that they had too much water, getting too much water. Or maybe I can say the first thing is they had some infestation of little insects and whatever. The reason for that is because there was rotting. The roots started rotting. The reason for the rotting is because I'm giving it too much water. The reason I'm giving it too much water is because I didn't learn about this type of plant. And so on and so forth, yes? If I try to handle the yellow plants and I don't know the source, I will water the plant more because that's all I know, which will kill the plant even more because I'm not handling the source, something over here. Exactly, always the aphids, exactly. This is so good and making so much sense. Very good, okay? Thank you. So the problem, what I'm trying to tell you is that whatever you see here is not what you want to resolve, which is really counterintuitive because that's what you've been taught to do. So, it will be wrong to handle those items on the list as they are just problems and not the cause of the problem. That's why I say I'm not going to handle it. We're looking for the cause. This is very good. Thank you, Jody. If you try to handle those things that you said yes to, you will be like a druggie. For every symptom, discomfort, or problem, you take a drug. The symptom, I handle the symptoms. Oh, I'm uncomfortable, take a drug. I have social anxiety, take a drug. I don't feel good in this situation, I'm overwhelmed by my debt, take a drug. That's how druggies work, and it doesn't work so well for druggies if you check. And you can also check, how did it work so far for you? Not so good. The trap is that you've been educated wrongly. You've been convinced to handle only symptoms. That's what's happening. It's working well for you, Louise, but you mentioned to me that for a long time this is continuing. It's not yet fully handled. And we'll see soon, Louise, a little bit deeper onto it, okay? Yes, you can take a drug and it can handle the problem temporarily, but did it handle it? We're going to find out, okay? But what people do just in life, forget about drugs, forget about that for a sec. People are educated to handle the problems. I'll give you an example. To handle the symptom, right? Someone shouts at you. You handle the shouting by shouting. You don't say, whoa, 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 what came before? We have an argument. Oh, I'm not getting into it. Something's happened before to get to the point that you were shouting. What happened before? But no, what most people do, you shout, you argue, you handle the argument with an argument. You don't look, whoa, something is the root, and I'm missing the root. You have a pain. You take a pill. You don't look for the source. Many people have all kinds of different pains. It can even be problem sleeping. Okay, you have a sleeping problem. Where is the source? I just take sleeping pills and then I sleep really well. But where is the source? Why do you have sleeping problems? The vertigo I get if I don't take my meds is not worth it. Yes, because right now you're on your meds for a long, long, long time. And believe it or not, they're extremely strong drugs, not less strong than street drugs. And you can't just go off street drugs. You'll have withdrawals. So anybody that wants to get off drugs needs to do it with a doctor, somebody helping them. And I can recommend somebody that can help anybody, by the way, with that. Taking drugs is proof that you got to the conclusion in that area of your life that you cannot find the source. You cannot handle the source. If you start taking drugs, what you say is, look, I don't know what the source is. I'm going to take a drug. Now, the drug can be a sleeping pill. I don't know the source for why I can't sleep. I take drugs now. It can be drinking in social environments. I don't know why I can't feel comfortable around people. Anytime I'm at a party, I need drinking. I need to drink. So that's how I handle it. It can be entertainment, can be your drug. Oh, I'm overwhelmed. Every time I'm overwhelmed, I just need to sit in front of Netflix for 4 hours. I need that. That's my drug. And I need to just sit there and I need to chill out. You got to a conclusion that the source, I don't know why I feel overwhelmed. I don't know how to handle this overwhelmed thing. It's going to continue. I don't know. I give up. I need a drug. Caffeine, yes. So true indeed, yes. Alcohol to be more social. Exactly, Andrea. Yes, Jody. But there's one piece of good news, and that is that symptoms are not useless. So we went through the list. By the way, they're not useless. We have a good use for symptoms. Why? Okay. I'm 25. I never had a girlfriend. I'm not a virgin. I'm looking tall, but there's blockages. I've always wondered why. I relate with the alcohol part so much. Okay, by the way, what's your name? I just see you as Zoom user, but what I can tell you is that there will be a handling for that. We're going to establish a handling today. You'll see that we're talking about, hi Lewis, we're talking about ADHD. We're talking about mental health, but this will resolve any problem that you have in life, relationships, business. You'll see. Symptoms are an indication. They show you that there's something deeper. They are like little breadcrumbs that you need to follow. Symptoms are a cry for finding the source of the problem. It's saying, hey, I have a big problem here. Please help. That's what symptoms do. And you can look at that with your body. If you start coughing, and you have a cough, it's a symptom. It's telling you, hey, look, you have an infection developing. And if you just now take something to make your cough go away, just something basic to reduce the cough, it doesn't handle the infection. The cough shows you there is something, help, there's a root cause. I need you to help me. Yes, sir, thank you, I'm excited. Good, Lewis. God bless you. I need this. I'm very happy, Jody. Excellent. Well done for being here. If you actually use them to find the prior cause that brought the problem, you've done something valuable that will bring about an improvement. And otherwise, whatever you will do without the actual source will bring about a deterioration. Your effort to solve the problem will actually intensify the problem. Whatever you do without the actual source will bring about deterioration. I don't know that I'm overwatering my plant. No idea. I didn't know I'm overwatering it. I don't know that the roots are going rotten from my efforts. Whatever I do will intensify the problem. So I water the plants more. You understand? I have a problem, let's say, with my car. There's a major issue with the car. I think that I need to change the oil. So I change the oil. But what's really going on is the car's overheating. And I have no idea. So then I think, you know what? It's the tires. So I fill the tires a bit more, which makes the car go even smoother, even faster. But it actually puts more work on the engine. Now I feel comfortable, so I drive the engine. The car overheats even more. And one day, the head gasket blows. One day, there's a catastrophe. I hate it when my efforts make things worse. Exactly. Because when you don't know how to find the source, your efforts will make things worse. Exactly, Brighton. Warning signs. Oh, wow. I like that perspective. Oh, my gosh. Yes. Thank you, Curtis. He would be, yes. So for as long as you have a problem, you fail to discover and handle the source of the problem, and so the problem will grow. If you have a problem with your ADHD, if you have a problem with your focus, if you have a problem with your ability to multitask or to do one task to a done or to handle something that you want to achieve or to bring about a result in an area that you need to actually concentrate in, or you find yourself dispersed, the problem is there. If the problem is there, well, guess what? I don't care what else you say. There's a prior area that you fail to discover and handle. And that problem will grow. Today, you see your problems as, oh, I can't concentrate. Today, you see, oh, I have an issue with my state of mind. In 10 years from now, do you think it will be better? Or you think that your state of mind will really cave in on you when life hits you a few more times? That's why, exactly, worse. That's why you must handle the source. This is why we always test. In Guaranteed Prosperity, it's for this reason that the first thing we do with any clients is a set of tests. I'm looking for a specific scientific result. These tests usually cost $3,137, but are on special today for $2,087. It includes a one-on-one evaluation of these tests with you and a GP coach. And by the way, if I do the test evaluations with clients and not one of my staff does it, it's an additional $497 value. So today, the special on it is $2,087, and these tests are designed to pinpoint the source of your problems. But every student says the $2,087 is worth every cent, because what gets revealed there is not only fascinating, it opens the door for a handling, an actual handling, much like the moment a special doctor finds the actual source of the disease. You go to a special doctor that knows one thing. How do I handle the real source? I went to many, many doctors. They told me different things. I need somebody who can tell me where this is coming from. That's why you go to a specialized doctor. When you find the actual source, now something can be done about it. Yes, Curtis, you know, the results are priceless. Exactly. The tests always find the actual source of our clients' problems, and they are never, ever what the symptoms show on the surface. Whatever the symptoms seem to be, it's always something else. It works. Yes, Vince, you know, Celeste, life-changing. Exactly. One thing is for sure. Without the tests, you drive your life with your eyes closed. With these tests, not only that your eyes are open and you know what your destination is, but you also know what are the barriers and how to handle them. So what this shows you is not only how to find the source, not only how to handle the source, but now you can see, oh, wow, okay, I have these certain barriers, these certain obstacles, and this is what I need to work on. Don't water the plant more. No, you need to do something opposite. Stop watering the plant. What you need to do is give it some more nutrition. What you need to do is take it to the sun. Handle the plant. Don't destroy it further. So the key for any improvement is gaining the ability to separate between the symptoms and the source, using the symptoms to lead you to the source, like breadcrumbs. You see what's happening here, and you go and you dig and you dig. The source is usually hidden. You usually need an expert to find it. You usually need some tests. But what you know is if I have a symptom, there's something festering beneath. Andrea, I'm always creating lists and not ticking it off. And maybe it's definitely because I'm not sure what the source actually is. 1000%, Andrea, you need these tests. A good doctor looks at the symptoms and discovers the source and does everything he can to handle the source. That's what a good doctor does. All they look for is what's happening. Say, let me check your this, let me check your mouth, let me check your ears, your nose. Let me see, the source is you have an infection. We're going to handle the infection, not the cough. A bad doctor looks at the symptoms, ignores the source, and does everything he can to hide the symptoms, with the inevitable result of intensifying the symptoms of the source. This is what you know as your problem. The symptoms of the source are your problems. You know them as my current problems. Your current problems are just symptoms of the source. Maybe we can make many guesses, Louise, but if we don't know how to find it exactly, we will guess and guess and guess. And usually what people guess is things they've already tried before and used before as something that they've tried to handle. Did you ever have a situation where the check engine light turned on in your car? Yes or no? Yes. Or you saw it in somebody's car? Yes. Yes. Okay, good. What does it mean? Okay, other problems, exactly. What does it mean when you see that? You see a check engine light. What does it mean? Exactly. You need to check the engine, service time. Something's wrong. It means that there is a problem and the light is a symptom. Problem, exactly. Something needs to be handled. Now, what are your options? What can you do when you have the check engine light on in your car? What can you do at that moment? What are your options? What do you think? I want you to participate, to have a look at it, so it's not just me giving it to you. I want you to critically think and say, what can I do? Yes, when I have that kind of thing, what are my options to do? Go to the dealer, exactly. Ignore it, yes. Remove the fuse, exactly, that makes the light go on. Ignore it. Take it to someone that works on a car. Turn off the light, yes. Take it to get a service and get checked, yes. Smash the light out, turn off the car. Give the car away. You're right. Take it to Neo. Yes, 100%. Find an expert. Take it to the workshop. Expeditiously. Very good word, Brighton. Yes. Number one, what you can do is you find and handle the source. You can take the car to the garage and they can run tests and they find the source of the symptom. Why the engine light turned on. That's option one. It's the best option. You find and handle the source. You know that there's something deeper. The second option is you can ignore the source and treat the symptom. You can give the car a drug. What's the drug for the car? You break the light or put masking tape over the light with the inevitable results of much bigger damage. You could say, look, I'm just covering up the light right now. We keep driving. Everything will be okay. One day you're stuck on the side of the road on the N2 in Cape Town. It's a dangerous place. People come, they rob you, they take your things. All of a sudden you have major, 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 major problems. Amazing that you can see that, Louise. Meds is the masking tape. Amazing that you can see that. 3, ignore the symptom. Ignore the light. Say it's not there. You make sure you don't see it, even when it stares at your face. And you do that, by the way, in your life. There's different problems, and it's not even that you try to cover it. You just say it's not there. Yes, Brighton, exactly. It's a Christmas tree of lights. Now, since your solution is not something that handles the cause of the problem, the end result will be much bigger damage. I think you understand that. The end result is much bigger damage. You end up having a really big problem with your car. You end up having a really big problem with your relationships. If you have arguments, one day you end up in a divorce because you didn't handle the source for a long time. Great comparison, because we can all see how silly drugs are now with all of the answers. Amazing, Lauren. Yes. Yes, divorce. Exactly, Jody. Wow, scary. Yep, it is. Now, those are all the options that you have in life. Same thing in life. All those problems we listed at the beginning are just check engine, check life, lights. You have check life lights. That's what it is. You need to understand that you have these symptoms that you've been dealing with in a variety of ways. Love it. Yes, check life lights. Now, any area that you said yes to on the list, you've either ignored the source and treated the symptom, or ignored the symptom. That's what's happening. If you still have it, that's what's happening. And you look at your list and you'll see. Kind of glad I met Gal before I got married. That's nice, Christoph. Yes. It's like an infection that grows 1000%. Areas that are going well in your life are areas that you found and handled the source of the problem. So if you run a business and it's going well for you, you have, in a variety of ways, found the source for your problem in different areas again and again and again, and handled different sources and improved and improved and improved, and that's why it's going well. If you have a very healthy body, you have found the source for your body, and any problems that come up, sometimes you gained a little weight, sometimes you lost some muscle, sometimes you lost your stamina, and you knew how to handle the source. And so the problem didn't stop, it ceases to exist. It never existed. For example, you went to university and got a degree in engineering, so you solved your check engine, your check life light, that's called low income, and now you earn well. So somebody had a problem, they came from a family many, many years with all kinds of issues and all kinds of problems, and they had all these different things for many years. They didn't have enough income, and one day the family comes and says, look, we need to get the kid educated. We need to send him to a university so he becomes an engineer. Now that's the source that we can handle, the education. Handle the education, and now things improve. You earn well. You understand? When you find the source, it improves. And otherwise, you're either ignoring and treating symptoms or even ignoring the symptoms altogether. So far, so good. Everybody with me? Wow. It is wow. Yes. Good. But if you married the wrong person, it's because you covered the check engine light, the warnings. They were there. You saw it before the marriage. And I don't need to tell you the outcome. You and your kids are still paying for it. If you don't handle the check life lights, if you don't handle them, the outcome is horrific. So how far do you go back when you're trying to find the source of a problem? How do you know that you found the source and are actually handling the source? How do you know? How do you know? To answer this question, we need to look at what is the opposite of the source of the problem. What's the opposite? Problem goes away, yes. But how do you know that you don't need to go any further? So we said, okay, look, there was the drunk driver. The reason the drunk driver was drunk was because he was going through some emotional turmoil. The reason of the emotional turmoil is pop, 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 pop. It goes back and back and back and back. You understand? So that's what we really actually need to find is when do you stop going backwards? When do you know this is the source, 100%, no more looking, I found it, and now I have a handling. Good, Curtis. The symptoms disappear. Sometimes we assume we can take it, but don't realize how it actually pours in ways we don't expect into our lives. Aha, amazing. I don't know, probably very far. Okay, let's see. We need to find what's the opposite. We know that the source of the problem will enable you to handle the problem, yes? The source of the problem will enable you to handle the problem, okay? In fact, 99% of the solution of any problem lies in the isolation of the correct source of the problem. That's why accurate testing is key. 99% of doing the job of handling a problem is finding the source. When you found the source, everything else aligns pretty easily. So what's the opposite of the source of a problem? What do we call the opposite of the source for the problem? What's the word for that? Not the cause, no, the opposite, this manifestation, close, fake reality, yes, also true. What do we call it? The opposite's an excuse. You use an excuse. Now, what's an excuse? An excuse is only an explanation that you give for your failure to isolate the source of the problem and so handle the problem. That's all it is. If I am currently having an issue with weight gain, let's say I have a weight gain problem, I say, look, it's because it runs in the family. What I would say is, look, nobody runs in your family. I'm just kidding. That's a funny joke. Just kidding. What I would say is, whatever is the excuse that you're using is just something that you're explaining away. You say, look, I'm gaining weight because I have some kind of a genetic thing that's running in my family. Okay, I have some kind of a problem, and we just don't metabolize the same. Okay, well, did it solve it? Do you have an answer? Are you losing weight now that you know that? Is there a solution? If not, it's an excuse. It's explaining the failure to lose the weight. Yes, exactly. If I have a problem where I have a major issue with my team, okay? It could be stress eating, but why? Why do you stress eat? It's a symptom. You understand? It's really fascinating. Let's say I have a problem with my team, and I say, look, my team, it's just because they are all way too self-centered, okay? They're self-centered. Did it solve the problem? Or is it just an excuse that I'm using for why I don't know how to lead? You understand? It's just an excuse. So the problem remains. It's how you explain or justify your failures. It's how you make your failures not your failures. It's not my failure as a leader. It's that my team is super self-centered. It's not me that doesn't know how to have a good relationship. Oh, they were a narcissist. Oh, it's not that I have a problem with learning and I need to improve myself in some way. It's that I have ADHD. of ADHD. It's something that explains for the other one, the other side, what they did. And it explains how my failures are not failures. It wasn't me, it was them. I'm blaming. It's an excuse. Yes, exactly, Jason. Such a good example. Thank you. Yep. Excuses are how you make yourself right when it's very obvious that you're wrong. Sorry to say it. If I don't have any friends, and nobody wants to be my friend, nobody wants to hang out. Every time I hang out, they don't invite me back. And I say, it's because all of them are snobby and think way too highly of themselves. Oh, I feel really good. I feel right because they're snobby and they think so highly of themselves. But what I'm not seeing is that every time I'm there, I never listen to them. I belittle them. I say snarky comments. I do things that chisel away at what they believe is true. I get into arguments and nobody wants me back, but they're self-centered. They think too highly of themselves. You understand? It's an excuse. I make myself right. They're wrong. Example, let's say you have a coffee shop and it's failing. Any business, but let's say a coffee shop and it's failing. You look around and you see many coffee shops that are doing very well. You do. That's why you opened your coffee shop, because you saw many others doing very well, by the way. That's why you start the business, because you thought, I can do this. Other people are doing it. That's why you get into a relationship. You see many other relationships. You see that it can be really nice. You see beautiful people that you want to build something with, and you think, this could be good for me. I should open this coffee shop called a relationship. Now, if you use the source of why your coffee shop is failing, your relationship is failing, your mental health is failing, if you find the source for the problem, you will be one of those successful coffee shops, or one of those people with a good state of mind, or one of those people with a good relationship, because they're doing many things right while you were busy ignoring the source, and you've been treating the symptoms or ignoring the symptoms. Yes, Brighton, very interesting. Yep, you understand? And let's not forget that it's not as bad, because you have a beautiful, logical, provable excuse for it all. Yet, your coffee shop is failing. If your coffee shop is failing, I know you have a beautiful excuse. I know it's provable. I know it makes a lot of sense for you. I know many people told you that. I know. I understand. But it's not bringing about the results. It's failing. You're not handling the right source. Wow, inspired to handle it in a different way than I originally thought. Amazing, Kiana. Amazing. That's a major step forward. Major. You're using an excuse, something that explains how what you're doing is not wrong, even when it's obvious that what you do is very wrong. And the proof is your business, your coffee shop, your relationship, your mental health, your state of mind is failing. So something is wrong. Andrea, I felt my ADHD sparked from my childhood traumas, and it was difficult to deal with it because I felt I should be able to be more responsible in my moves. If it was that, then you would have handled it. It wouldn't have existed anymore. It's good that you said, I need to be more responsible, but if you haven't yet found the source, then there's something more you're missing. Something is there, some other source. You have to find it. So for as long as you use an excuse, you're blind to the source. No, if you do things right, you will bring about results. Now, you cannot do both together. You have to understand that. You cannot do both. You cannot use an excuse and recognize the source. You one or the other. You either use the excuse and ignore and make less of the source and put your attention on the symptoms, or you drop the excuses and you find the source. It's not one and not the other. It's one or the other. You can't do both, because the excuse is a substitute for the source always. So for as long as you use drugs, excuses, a substitute for handling the source, you will continue to fail. You will. Maybe you covered it up for a moment. Maybe it felt a little bit nicer for a few minutes, a few days, a few weeks, a few years. It will erupt. The business that is called your life will not improve. It will deteriorate, and you will wonder why it seems that you cannot find the source. things will get worse and worse and worse, and you'd think, I don't know, what is it? I don't know. Today I did a coaching session with somebody, and he had some major, very successful, very talented guy, very, very, very in demand. Many people know him in Cape Town, but he has a lot of problems emotionally, and he doesn't feel like he's productive enough, and all kinds of things that we needed to handle. And I told him, okay, why? Why is it happening? And I wrote down everything he said. And why is that? And why? And why? And a big list of why is it happening? And when did it start? And he said, it's childhood. Tell me what happened in childhood. And I wrote it, and I wrote it, and I wrote it, and I wrote it. And when we were done with the list, I said to him, okay, great. Thank you. You've made my work easy. Now I know that this big list we wrote, this is not the problem. Now I know where to start. These things we've eliminated. Process of elimination, everything we wrote, it's not that. Now I can help you find what's the source. Is ADHD connected to procrastination too then? What you have is a symptom, which is procrastination. Again, the symptoms are real. I'm not saying your symptoms are not real. Your symptoms are really real. It's really happening. It's true you procrastinate. It's true you can't keep your attention. It's true you leave the eggs on to boil. It's true you zone out. It's true these things are happening to you, for sure. But what I'm saying is, well, why? Why? What's the source? I can call it ADHD, label, excellent, ADHD. Did it handle it? No. And we're going to understand about handling very soon. Nope, it's not genetic. It's not genetic. There is no genetic test ever that found ADHD, ever. And that's not me. You can ask ChatGPT. Is there any genetic test that 100,000% proves that ADHD exists? And you'll see what it says. I know that my anxiety has gotten really bad this year with what happened, but I'm not fully sure what the source is to handle it. Okay, today you'll see. If the source has not disappeared, I did not find the actual source. Once you find the source, the problem disappears. You'll see now. That leads us to the first thing that you need to know. What you need to know is how to measure and look at your actual results. Because if you measure and look at your actual results, you will not be able to excuse them. Once you measure it and you see it very clearly, there's no way to excuse it. Like, this is what it is. It's going up, it's going down. I don't care what else I can say. It's going down. Well, what can I say? If a business, the sales are going down and the sales are going down and the sales are going down, that's what I'm seeing. What do you want me to say? You want me to come up with an excuse and tell you how good I'm doing and tell you how the business is growing? It's not. Look at the results. Unlike when the results are measured for you, that's your other option, like when you go bankrupt. When you go bankrupt, the world tells you, look, man, this is your result. You're bankrupt now. When you have an anxiety attack, it's your mind, life telling you, look, this is your result. Hey, you have an anxiety attack. Look, you're failing. This is the result. You see it? You see the result? You have an anxiety attack. So maybe the difficult part isn't finding the source, but dealing with it. No, actually, you'll find that the difficult part is knowing how to find the source. Dealing with it is easy. It's the easiest part. Once you know the source, oh, simple. The handling is like obvious. I found the source, no problem. Once I know that the issue with my plant is that I'm overwatering it, okay, I can handle it. Once I know that the problem with my engine is that it's overheating, now I know I can handle it. I can start to resolve it. It might take a week or a day, but I can start to resolve it. Whereas otherwise, it will take years and years and years with things getting worse and worse and worse. That's difficult. I've seen this to be true with working with you and Meir for several years. Measurement seems to help creation and joy. Correct, Anita? Now, if you do that, if you actually measure the results and confront them, and not by good feelings, which drugs will give you easily. I don't want you to measure your results based on how you feel. I want to see what are your sales. If a salesman comes to me and said, I felt really good about today. I met many people and they really liked me and I felt super good. Okay, what were the sales? No sales. Well, then thank you very much. You don't know what you're doing. I don't care. I don't care the excuse. I don't care. So you can take drugs and feel really good, but if that doesn't bring about better results, you're not on the right track. If you actually measure the results, it will be the first step in handling the problem. So how do we know if something is the source or you're using an excuse? How do we know if it's an excuse that masks the actual problem, masks the problem? but feeling anxiety. Then we need to find the source. We'll figure this question out soon. There is a massive difference between handling something and the inevitable destruction that always follows by the use of an excuse. On the one hand, you can handle something, which will be a wonderful thing to handle it. On the other hand, you can have a situation where you are using an excuse and it becomes a problem. You're on the side of the road with a car broken down. How would you define the word handle? Let's understand that. How do you define the word handle? I want to handle something. So what does that mean, to handle? The problem goes away. Yes, okay. Cycle is closed. It's no longer a problem for me. Yes, very good. What does it mean? If I handle my stomach ulcers, if I handle the fact that I have some problem seeing, if I handle my headache, if I handle my relationship issues, what does that mean? To take full responsibility until you get the result, to be able to deal with the problem, getting results, to confront it and give the desired result, close the cycle, find source and get results. You see results. Agree with Andy. Yes, Louise, aware of that. Close the cycle. Good, very good. Excellent, by the way. Excellent participation. Let's see. Handle means to eliminate the source of the problem, and by that, ensuring the problem ceases to exist. Ceases, no longer. It's done. The problem doesn't exist. You eliminate the source. You go to the root. And if it ceases to exist, it, of course, cannot repeat. You understand that, right? If you've handled something, it can't repeat. If somebody again and again and again and again gets cavities, there's a problem before. If the cavities are repeating and repeating and repeating and repeating, even though I handle the cavity, then its problem is before. The guy's eating tons of sugar, doesn't brush his teeth, okay? So, which means that if it repeats, it's not handled. If something repeats, it's not handled. Examples, if I have a leak in my house, I find the source, handle it, the leak ceases to exist. There's somebody I know that has a property that for a long, long time, every few months, their bedroom had water under the wood of their bedroom. Water. And they did all kinds of things to try to resolve it. And they put caulking, and they replaced different things, and they changed the wood, and they sealed this area and for a long, long time. And then it just got worse and more water, and they couldn't figure it out. And then the house went on the market, and they had to resolve it. They can't sell this house with a leak. So they said, there's some source here. So they ended up doing the hard work of finding the source. They literally ripped off the wood, opened the wall, and what they found is that when the house was built, somebody took a drill through the pipe, not just once, but all the way through the pipe, and there was 2 holes out of a pipe, and that was leaking in the walls. They never knew about it. And then when they resolved it, the leak was done, never again. That was the source. Years they had a problem, that ended up being the source. You understand? That's what's called finding the source. And then they patched it up, and now it's perfect. No more problems. It's not that the problem is solved. There is no problem. There's no more problem. If I have a slow computer, I find the source, I handle it, it's fast again. Okay? The problem ceases to exist. There was some kind of a bug, I handled it. But I don't go around and I say, hey guys, I have a slow computer, but I make it fast. That would be giving the computer a drug. Imagine if I had a computer and I say, look, I have a very problematic computer, but I always do this thing. I need to do this thing to make it work temporarily. That's giving it a drug. Are you with me? With me so far? Yes. Now they're able to sell the house. Exactly. But with anxiety, it can take months to maybe see results. It's going to be an overnight fix, even if you find the source. What will happen overnight is an immediate improvement, and over time, the source will once and for all be handled. It might be overnight, it might be a week, it might be a month, but it won't be endless handling the leak forever and it getting worse and worse and worse. So yes, it took some work. It took some opening up and doing the hard work of finding the source. But once it was found, it was well worth it. Drinking to cover up pain from past traumas, exactly. Let's say I have a headache. I could treat the symptom, the headache, right? I could take a pill for my headache. Are you with me? I could take a pill for a headache. Or I could find the source. The source with headaches most of the time is that your body lacks salt, believe it or not. Your body lacks salt. Your body, the way it operates is with a very specific balance between how much salt and minerals your body has and how much water. If you have too much water and not enough salt, your body will drain water so that you get a balance. You understand? If you're low on salt, you will have all the symptoms of dehydration, which means that regardless of how much water I drink water, but I'm low on salt, my body will drain water. I'll have the symptoms of dehydration because for the body, it's much more important to have the correct levels of salt than to keep the body hydrated. It will get rid of water if your salt is low. This is true. I didn't make this up. And so if I make sure that I have the correct amount of salt in my normal diet, I won't have a headache and there's no problem. I just need to have the right amount of salt, and then when I drink water, my body will be nice and hydrated and all is good. It's not that I have a problem. It ceases to exist. There's no more headache. Done. No more headache. And yes, good privilege. But imagine that I don't know that the source of the problem is lack of salt. What would I do? Imagine that. I didn't know. Oh, it's just salt, man. It's just salt. What would I do? Have a headache. Every day, headache. What would I do? Mask it. How? What would I do? Exactly, Jenna. Keep drinking and taking painkillers. People resort to Tylenol, taking aspirin daily, like many people take Advil, medication, take a drug. Exactly. Every day I take 2 Advils to mask the symptoms. And yes, it will seem like the headache is gone, but is the headache gone? The headache is not gone. It's still there, but it's just masked. You understand? Exactly. I broke the engine light called state of head. Oop, don't need to see that. And after a while of popping headache tablets daily, years maybe, months maybe, my kidneys will start to have problems, and now I need a kidney replacement. And by the way, I still need to handle my headache. Exactly, under the hood it's still on. The law is this: failure to handle a problem, which means failure to find the correct source of a problem and handle it, will create problems that have nothing to do with your original problem. You'll end up having kidney problems when it started with your headache. If you don't handle the engine, you'll end up having to go and get a new passport because you were on the side of the road and a thief came and stole your bag, and now you're in the freaking bank getting new bank cards and getting a new phone and in debt because now you didn't have money for the phone, and you're handling your passport all because you didn't handle your check engine light in your engine. The law is always failure to handle a problem, not handling the source will make sure, for sure, that there will be other problems. This makes so much sense. Thanks, Gal. Yes. Handle your shit or your shit will handle you. Correct. Amazing. Wow. Yes, it is wow. Have a look at someone that starts to take drugs. Someone that starts to take Tylenol or Advil destroys his kidneys. Someone that takes heroin destroys families and bodies. Someone that takes Ritalin destroys their mind and body, even if you don't see it right now. It's inevitable. Someone that starts to drink, which is the most prevalent drug, destroys everything. They end up destroying everything. I think you got the idea, yes? I think you got the idea. Yes. Okay. Okay. So, assume I have to take a pill once a week. It means the problem returns once a week. Do you agree? If not hospitalized after the goons beat you while acquiring your things. True. Yes, good. You agree. Good. It means that the problem is not handled. Do you agree? If it comes back again and again, I didn't handle the problem. Every week, I have to handle a leak newly. I need towels on the floor. I need to handle it newly. Yes. Good. Okay. So the thing for you to realize is that for as long as you did not handle a problem, you are actively masking the problem and the problem will grow. You really need to have this as a rule. So if you have a problem with ADHD and all its symptoms, and you can replace the word ADHD with anxiety. You can replace it with relationships. You can replace it with ADD. You can replace it with anything you want, any problem. Of course, you want to find, well, what is the source of your ADHD? So many people say it's the neurons in the brain, right? That's something with my brain. I have a brain problem. Chemical imbalance. Can you control your neurons? Are you able to go and actually control it? Can you do something about it yourself? No, maybe. Okay, how? How? It feels so scary sometimes to face that source. What shall we do? You need the tests, Lewis. You need the tests. They will show you the source. And that's why I do the one-on-one guidance with people, because I will help you to confront it, to face it. No, sleep won't help. What most people say is, I'll take a pill. That's how they try to handle their chemical imbalance. Is that a handling or an excuse? Based on what you now know. If it's been growing for many years and find the source, that's why we do the tests. You need a way to do it. That any doctor, well, imagine you go to a doctor and you say, doctor, for many, many, many years, I have heart problems. What's he going to say? Get on the machine. I need to test. We got to find it. If you're in 25,000 debt, then what you need to do is the tests, because it's the only way you'll get out of it. Because for a long time, it's been declining. You need, no matter what, to invest in this. It's my recommendation. Up to you, of course, but that's what you need. If you need to take the pill every day, it's obviously not a handling. It's an excuse. On the other hand, let's say that you have ADHD, and I'll give you an extreme example. Okay, let's go to the extreme, okay? Let's say you take LSD once, LSD, a strong drug, and it really handled it forever. Okay, let's say one time you took LSD, handled forever. Do you know what I would say? Would you be able to guide someone out of that kind of debt? Absolutely, I've done it before. No idea. I'll tell you what I would say. Take LSD. My viewpoint is, take LSD. If you did it and it handled it, take LSD. I'm not against the drugs. I'm not. I'm against using things that don't handle the source. That's what I'm against. I want to handle the source, not the symptoms. If you found a way with LSD to handle the source, do it. You took it once and it handled it, do it. I want you to handle the source of your problems. That's what I'm after. So if the LSD doesn't eliminate the problem, and as a bonus gives you side effects, then it would be stupid to take the LSD. Okay, because it doesn't eliminate the problem, the truth. Yes, the truth is, of course, it doesn't. And there's all kinds of additional problems and risks and side effects and disasters. So I don't recommend it, of course. But if it did, you found a miracle drug tomorrow, take it. Take it, enjoy it. I'm happy you're handling the source. That's what I care about. Now, question for you. What is a physical sickness that you had that got handled? Some kind of a physical sickness you had that got handled. And tell me once you have it. Bonus, exactly, Jason. What's a physical sickness? You got it? Okay, I have it. Good. Okay. Now, I'm going to use an example myself, okay? But you will use the same example, but using your own one. Let's say you had a dental problem which went away and didn't come back, okay? So I had a deep cavity, but I handled it and it never came back. I never got a cavity again, okay? Or maybe you had some kind of you got a fever of some kind and you handled it and it never came back, okay? Imagine, on the other hand, that you went to a dentist and the dentist said to you, you have a tooth problem and every day you need to come to me for a new filling. Every day. You come in every day, I'll give you a filling for it. That's what I recommend. What would you say? Oh, hell no. Exactly. No thanks. No. Exactly. Why? Because he didn't solve the problem. He doesn't solve the problem. I don't need to come back and traumatize myself with another filling. Let's say he said, what you need to do is get drunk at night, and the tooth problem will go away for the night, but you'll have a headache the next day. You're going to have a hangover, but at night it will resolve. That's my recommendation. What would you say? He would want to capitalize on my problem instead of solving it. True, Brighton. Welcome to the pharmaceutical industry. Yes. I had a dentist like that as a kid. Wow, Anita. No thanks. Second option needed. Nope, exactly. Let's look at ADHD. Let's say they say you need to take a pill to concentrate every day. You need to take a pill to concentrate. And let's say it does cause you to concentrate for the day. For the day you concentrate. But you need to take the pill the next day. It's like going to the dentist every day for a filling. It will not be handled, and there will be side effects of the daily fillings. It will be painful. You'll lose time. It will cost you money. It will weaken your teeth. Eventually, it will destroy your teeth, etc. Oh my gosh, boom. Yes, Luis. Damn. Yep, exactly. Great example. Thank you, Jenna. So what do you do? What do you do? Obviously, we don't want a filling every single day, but we don't know how to do a permanent filling. That's the problem. We don't have a permanent handling. That's the problem. Welcome to the webinar. Welcome to the situation that we're in. Took the meds for a week and at the cost of my creativity. No thanks. Exactly. So what can we learn? If the treatment is repeated, the source is not handled. So far, so good? You really need to get that. If you leave the webinar with that by the end, you've learned a lot. This was worth your time because you can use this in your business. You can use this with your relationships. You can use this with your health. This is valid for everything. Yeah, amazing. I remember my cousin's presence disappearing after his mom's death and docs increasing his meds every time. Whoa, yeah, correct. Or if the meds aren't working, they change the meds. Exactly. But they didn't solve the problem. So we know how to hide or mask, but we don't know how to handle. We have a very good way that the pills work. They hide, they mask really well. You feel good, you focus, you can get through school. And this is due to failure to discover the source. You don't know, you fail to discover the source. The handling is a root canal, not a filling. You need to go in there and handle the source. So what could be the source of mental illness? What do you think, and I really want you to look at this, what could be the source of mental illness? What could be the source of mental illness? The past, low spiritual condition, stuck in the past, okay? Hypersexual, covert withholds, not sure, trauma. Okay, what's the source of the trauma? Why does trauma happen? Why do you have these withholds? What's happening? What's before that? Depression. Why the depression? Open cycles. Okay, why? What's the source? Why do you have open cycles to begin with? Why aren't you just good at handling things? Heartbreak. Okay, but why did the heartbreak affect you so much? Not fully wanting to confront what happened. Fear. Okay. Dropping responsibility, too much of something, inner child trauma from parents, generational trauma, okay? Okay. Oaks keep changing on me. Okay, why? Why does that happen? Why don't you spot these guys from a mile away before they change on you? What's the source? Why is the trauma affecting you still today for Lewis? What's the source? Cheating. Okay, why do they cheat? How does that happen? What are you missing? There's something under your nose you're not seeing. Emotions are the trap. Yeah. Let's see. Before we answer that, let's define what is a physical illness, because we have physical and we have mental. A physical illness is an illness that can be detected in the body by various tests and can be handled by handling the body, by changing something in the body. And the handling is correct if the illness cannot be detected anymore in the body by various tests. So far, so good. You detect it in the body, you handle the body, you can check and see that in the body it's no longer there. That's physical. Yes? Wow, yeah. Good. A physical illness belongs in the realm of matter. Its proof and its cure are both physical. We're dealing with literally matter, physical things, matter. This is the things that you can see, touch, take up space. That's what's happening with physical illnesses. I broke my arm. I have an infection. Okay? Yes, so it can be 1, detected in the body, 2, confirmed by various tests, 3, the handling is a body handling or a physical handling, and 4, the cure is when the problem is absent from the body and confirmed by various tests. We can see it. The infection has gone away. So far, so good? Okay, yes. Good, straightforward. Let's look at an example. If you have an infection, okay, let's say you have an infection in your lungs, you can detect the symptoms in the body. You can see the symptoms. I'm coughing. I see, okay, symptoms in the body. 2, I can confirm it by tests that measure the white blood cells, for example. There's a physical test that can say, yep, 100% you have an infection. 3, I can handle it physically. It's a physical handling. I start to take antibiotics. It's a physical handling. And 4, I cure it with no more infection, which again, I can measure by testing blood cells and so forth. Yes, it's physical. Same with chickenpox. You have chickenpox, you see the symptoms. Oh, I'm getting some dots. You can go and do a test to confirm it. You handle it physically, and when it's cured, it goes away. Same with the stomach bug or shingles. Yes, stomach bug. You see the symptoms. You're throwing up. You're sitting on the toilet. You can test it. You can go and do a stool test, and you'll see, whoa, this guy has some things going on inside. You can handle it. You can take things that will kill the bad bacteria. It's a physical handling, and once it's cured, it's gone. Okay? Yes. Okay. Etc. Okay? Many examples of that. Physical handlings. Now, what's mental? What do we know about mental? What's the first thing that we know when we say mental? What does mental mean? The mind, okay, meaning what? The brain. It's not the brain because the brain is a physical thing. Can't be tested, okay? It's in the mind, spirit. Pertaining to the mind, it's in the mind. Okay. Okay, it's not the brain. The brain and the mind are two different things. But I get where you're going. Let's see. First of all, we know that mental is not physical. Do you agree with that? Mental is not physical. That's why there's mental health and physical health. Physical illness, we've established what it is. Mental health, people know it means it's not a physical thing. There's something else. I maybe don't know exactly what it is, but I can say for sure it's not physical. That's why we call it mental. So far, so good? Louise, we need to do the tests. I can guess with you. I don't know. I need to see the tests. I don't know. I need to go over what you say, what happens on the tests. What does mental mean? What does mental mean? When you use the word mental, what does that word mean? You say mental health. What does mental mean? As a heads up, by the way, guys, we might run about 10 minutes past the half-hour mark. Just letting you know. Okay? Not physical. Of the mind. Emotions, thoughts, feelings. Dictionary, mental illness, and basically I came to a conclusion. By definition, everyone is nuts. Yes. Mental is in the mind. Okay, good. Yeah. The dictionary defines it as mental, relating to the mind, relating to, found in, or occurring in the mind. For example, mental stimulation would be something that isn't stimulating you physically. You're not getting a massage and it feels good, but mentally in your mind, you're going, wow, this is very nice, very interesting. Another definition is carried out in the mind without any physical action or the use of any physical aid. For example, if you do mental arithmetic, it means you're not using anything physical, no paper, no calculator. It's being done in the mind. Mind massage, yes. Another is produced by the mind and visible only in the mind. For example, mental imagery. It's not a physical picture. It's produced and visible to you in your mind. So what do we know? We know that mental is something that happens in the mind. Now, what is the mind? Of course. What is the mind? The dictionary defines the mind as the seat of thought and memory. The seat of thought and memory. It also says non-material things. In the philosophy of Descartes, all things that are not matter. There was a philosopher thought to be the father of philosophy, Descartes. He said anything that isn't matter, anything that isn't physical is the mind. That's what he says. So what's the mind? The mind is actually a series of pictures that you take every second. Every second you have pictures, and that's how you can remember what you had for breakfast. You have these pictures that you take, pictures, and that's your mind. These mental image pictures that you take is the mind. It's like an album of past pictures that we store because of different reasons. But yes, it's an album of past pictures. Louise, you are amazing, Gal. Thank you. Mwah. Okay, so I want to do a quick drill with you. I'm going to tell you what to do, and it's just going to take 20 seconds, okay? I want you to close your eyes. Is everyone okay with doing the drills really quick? Sorry, you can open your eyes. Everyone okay with doing this quickly? Okay, yes. Love Gal drills. Yes, ready. Good. Okay, close your eyes. Close your eyes. Just sit there, close your eyes. 20 seconds. Close your eyes, okay? Now think of a cat. Think of a cat. You don't have to write anything. Keep your eyes closed. Just think of a cat, okay? And I want you to get in your head, what is the color of the cat? You can say it out loud, even if nobody's around. Just say it out loud, like, oh, whatever color. I don't want to give you one to mess with you. You have the cat, you have the color of the cat. Say out loud, what's the weight of the cat? Keep your eyes closed. What's the weight of the cat? More or less, in pounds or kilos, more or less, what's the weight of the cat? How furry is the cat? Is it very furry, not so furry, like a skin cat? Now, with your eyes still closed, keep your eyes still closed. I want you to point at the cat. Point at the cat. And now you can open your eyes. The pictures you looked at is your mind. That's your mind. You were looking at your mind. It's not part of the body because I'm guessing you didn't point at your body when I said to point at the cat. Do you understand? You were pointing there. You were pointing there. You were pointing there. You didn't point here. You didn't point at your head. You didn't point at here. You pointed somewhere else, not your body. That's your mind. You were looking at your mind. What we know, a mental problem is not relating to a physical body. Exactly, Louise, not your body. A mental problem is not relating to a physical body. We need to establish this, okay? Really, I need to establish this with you. You must either 100% agree or 100% disagree. Do you 100% agree or 100% disagree? There's no in the middle, that a mental problem is not physical. 100% agree. Okay. Although the symptoms, the effects of mental illness often happen in the body, yes, you see it on your body, we already know that the source cannot be in the body. We know that. Because mental is not relating to the physical body. Mental is not relating to the physical body, so it cannot be physical. Mental problems are not relating to the physical body. If you have a mental health issue, if you have an ADHD issue, if you have anxiety issues, if you have any issues that have to do with your mind, it's not physical. And by the way, I don't know if you noticed, but your brain is physical. It is not your brain. Because it can't be physical, so it's not your brain. So if you handle the body, you can only mask symptoms, but not handle the source. You can take a drug. You can take a pill for your headache. Handle your body, but you're masking it. And that's why all body handlings of mental issues do not result in cured mental health issue, but they mask the source and are a ticking bomb. Any pharmaceutical, any drug, anything that you do to handle your body while trying to resolve a mental problem is masking and is going to be a problem, a big problem. Did it ever happen to you? Let's understand the mind a little bit more. Did it ever happen to you that you weren't afraid of something and then you grew up and you got afraid of it? So you used to not be afraid and then you became afraid. Ever happened to you? One day you're like, oh my God, I'm afraid of heights. I never was afraid of heights. As a kid, you weren't afraid of lizards. And as you grew up, they terrify you. You used to play with them, hold them, touch them. And as you grew up, they terrify you. Or roller coasters. Now they terrify you. But as a kid, you loved it. It was so nice. Or you used to not care. As a kid, you walked around outside. You never worried about criminals. Today, you walk around and you're scared of criminals. Something changed. Swings make me sick. Now, is that the same thing? Yeah, there was a change. Bills, yes. Now, by the way, it can be the other way around. You used to be afraid of roller coasters, and now you're not. So it could be the other way around. You used to be afraid of heights, and today you're not afraid of heights. What about not liking a certain food, and now you do like it? Did that ever happen to you? You didn't like a certain food, and today you like it. Now, do you realize that in all of these, nothing changed in your body? Your body's your body. Nothing changed. It's you. It's still your body. This is just the same body. It's not you. It's your body, yes? But nothing changed. Even allergic and not anymore. Exactly. You see a person who's... So what I'm saying here, by the way, is that your mind changed. Your mind affected your body. You see a person who's totally healthy and happy, and then something happens to him, or something happened in his family, and he practically instantly becomes sick and dies. Not physically dies, but you see the life was drained from him. Have you ever seen that? Someone was all good. Something happened and he changed. Just an event. Yes. Sad, yes. You can see that with someone who lost a lot of money. One example. There's no life. He lost a lot of money, big failures, doesn't know what to do, doesn't know. He's not buried yet, but you see he's walking around dead. There's no more life. Or a person being bullied. Let's take it to the other example. There's a guy getting bullied, and then something happens. There's a decision he makes. And then he went to the army and he succeeded. And from being a weak, useless person, he becomes relentless and powerful. Just a change of his mind. Something non-physical changes. And when this happens, he makes everything go right. And all gets better. Somehow everything just gets better. Because something in the mind changed. You know, I do Krav Maga self-defense. And it's a very, very practical type of self-defense. There was a guy that got mugged like 3 or 4 times, like aggressively mugged. And all he did was sign up for the classes, started taking them, and for whatever reason, he's never been mugged since. His confidence somehow went up. He learned some tools. That's it. It handled it. A mental change. You understand? It's very interesting. Now he wants to be mugged. Exactly. Now he's like, I spent all this time. I want to kick some ass. Let me find an opportunity. Exactly. What is it that we need to change in the mind? What you need to do is find the source. You need to find the source. Yeah, exactly. So it's obvious that mental cannot be handled by sugar, okay? I mean, you can't handle a mental thing with a physical thing. I can't give you sugar to handle your mental state. It's not the answer. Although I do think sugar is a good substitute. Like if it's a sweet medicine, maybe we should take it just to make us feel better. But that's just a joke, guys. So how do you handle a mental problem? How do you handle a mental problem? All mental problems are handled in one basic way. One. I know, I love chocolate too. Yeah. The one basic way is not physical. I'll not tell you what it is right now because we need a few more hours for that, and we're already getting close to the end. But I can tell you a few things about it, okay? Number one, all mental healing was based on that one principle. Number two, all physical healing is based on that same one principle. And number three, any progress in mankind's experience was based on that one principle. So I can guarantee that once you will know this one principle, you will be able to improve your life and the lives of others. And I'm sure you want to learn how to handle mental problems. And if you want to learn how to handle physical problems, and if you want to learn how to really improve, not as some kind of a robot, but as a king. I don't want to make you into a robot that tells you every day, do these habits. Every day, say these mantras. Every day, do this thing. No, I don't want you to be a repetitive robot. I want you to become powerful. The first thing you need to do is how to find the source of your personal problems. You have personal problems, ADHD, anxiety, depression. You need to handle those things, relationship problems. You need to find the source. And for that, you need an examination. Much like when you go to a doctor, you need blood tests or an x-ray. How? Yes, Louise, you need the tests. You need the tests. You need the examination. It's the only way I can help you. Imagine you go to a doctor, Louise, and he says, I don't need to do any tests. I'll guess what's happening with you. I'll tell you, I'll guess. Come, we'll talk it out. I'll come up with something for why you have an infection. Don't know. Maybe it's a stomach thing. Maybe it's a lung thing. We'll try some things. I don't know. I can't tell you how. I need to test. I need to find the root. I need to do very specific testing. It's what I do with all my clients, as I said. You just described the entire field of psychology. Yes, exactly. So what I suggest as your first step, what I suggest you do today, before you spend any more money on any training, on any lessons, any medication, any therapy sessions, any more coaching sessions, any retreats, any vitamins, anything. Don't spend your money on any of those before you do the tests that will show you the source of your unique problems. By now you understand the symptoms are not the issue. I'm sure you understand by now. Symptoms are not the source. They're not the issue, as they will be cured by finding and handling the source. It might take a week or a month or a year, but what's for sure is the source, number one, will be handled and not masked. We will handle and not mask it anymore. And number two, if you don't find the source, it will get worse. It will get worse. So, I'm sure it's clear for you now why the investment of $2,087 for the tests is the best investment you could ever make. It will give you the source of your problems. Imagine if you knew that the guesswork is done, that handling the symptoms is over, that you can get off of medications, or maybe it's not the medication that's your drug, but some other drug. Imagine, what would that mean? But since you stayed to the end of the webinar, I am promised, I'm going to give you a present. Probably one of the best gifts you've ever received. When I tell you, when we find the source, it's 99% of the handling. You'll see, when I say this is it, you'll go, oh, wow. Wow. Not only that I will give you a discount on these vital tests, okay, because it's vital for you. Instead of the usual $2,087, you will pay only $597. 25% of the price. But, because this is so important for you and your future, I have more. I have a big gift. I told you, a big gift. Instead of my staff giving you the evaluation, I will give you your test evaluation one-on-one free. I'll do it for free, which is an additional $497 discount. That's an additional 10,000 Rand discount, Louise. So, all you pay today for the full tests, plus a one-on-one source discovery evaluation with me, is, drumroll please, $97. I just completed the webinar. You're looking at the station where it was delivered from. If you're watching this replay, I'm sorry, but you're not going to get the same offer that the people that attended live got. However, I'm offering you something because you watched the replay to this point. And what your gift is $197. I'll put a code here on the screen. You use this code at checkout. And when you put that in, it will drop from a normal price of $3,000 or a current special, whatever the special might be. It will cost you only $197. Now you might think, what? They got it for $97. I'm getting it for $100 more. It's nothing. It's nothing. $197 is still a massive discount. Take it. It's well worth your investment. There's nowhere else that has this offer. You are watching this and are lucky enough to have the opportunity to take this special discount code that other people didn't find. So take it, register for the tests, and I can't wait to work with you. All the bonuses, me doing it, Mayor overseeing it, I'll keep all that in. But the price is nothing. Register now. It's the best investment you'll ever make in yourself. And I can't wait to work with you. $97. That's how much you spend on one therapy session, and where did it lead you? That's how much you spend on medication. That's how much you spend on coaching. 97. Yes, what? Wow. I would run to this. And a huge bonus. I will insure my dad, who usually costs $4,950 per hour, will oversee your tests and the results and guide your evaluation. So he will guide what to do with you, and then I will meet with you. And that's why it's so valuable. And that's just a bonus. How do you get it? You go to gprosperity.com/testing. That's what you do. You go to gprosperity.com/testing. I'll put the link in the chat. You use the code ADHD special and watch the price drop away. That's a fraction of the coping mechanism budget. Totally correct, Christoph. Curtis, he's 100% right about finding the source. I've handled multiple huge problems in my life simply by finding the source with Guaranteed Prosperity's help. And most often, the problem simply vanishes as if it never existed. Wow, wow, wow. Curtis, exactly. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Wow. That's amazing. Okay, now, I have more for you. You're very welcome. I have more. Only for you. Again, go to gprosperity.com/testing, use code ADHD special, get this. It's limited. I give this offer only for those who stay to this point. Only for you. This is the gift. And I give it only if you sign up by midnight Eastern Standard Time tonight, which means you have about 10 hours, give or take. So yes, instead of 2,087, it's only 97. You're very welcome, Jody. It's worth it, said Vince. Exactly. Yes, I give you a guide when I find the source. Here's another huge bonus, guys. I'm basically giving this to you for free. This 97 will be credited toward whatever you sign up for next with us. So you pay 97. Let's say that you go do another thing that's going to cost more, something. You decide to do another course, you decide to do anything. Take the 97, use it towards that. But then what you've done now is you've bought a course or some kind of teaching or some kind of a coaching with us. And then, here's the crazy thing, those things that you bought have 100% money back guarantee. So actually there's zero risk for you. You could theoretically just get your money back if it wasn't valuable for you. But I think it will be very, 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 very valuable for you. And I think that you won't need your money back at all. I think you'll want more, much more. Curtis, I just finished signing up. Amazing. Wow. Yes, Ahmad, you've done the tests. Exactly. No, you cannot pay then. I suggest that you find the 97 now. It's more important, if I were you, than food on the table. I would do whatever I can to get that money. Excited for a new start. Yes, Kiana, it is a new start. So, thank you for attending. It will be credited toward the next purchase with a 100% money back guarantee. And I will personally do the tests with you with Mayor, who anybody who knows him can tell you how powerful and amazing and smart he is. By the way, the material that you got today, you have Mayor to thank for that. If you thought this was wow, thank Mayor. So Mayor, my dad, will oversee the tests. So we will find your source for sure. And if you've spent money on medication and on therapy and on training and on coaching and on retreats and on whatever you've tried, 97 is the most affordable yet most powerful investment you have ever made. Ever. It's worth every penny, because if it doesn't bring you all those results, you get your money back. So what's the risk? Zero. So that's what I recommend for you to do. Thank you for being on. I appreciate it greatly. Now I'm available for any questions you have whatsoever. Questions with signing up, questions about the ADHD, anything. And if you want, you're also welcome to sign off now. I know we ran over a bit, so I'll stay on for a few minutes if there's any questions. So that's practically free. Wow, I've never seen anything like this. Correct, we've never done anything like this offer. And by the way, I'm not doing this offer again for I don't even know when, sometime in 2026. I'm not planning on doing this ADHD webinar again. This is like a one night only, maybe in 6 months. I don't know. We'll see. Who knows? So this is a very, very special offer. You that were on today got this data that nobody knows. Nobody thinks like this. You now understand that every symptom is the wrong thing to handle. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's total change. Louis, if I'm being completely honest, I don't feel convinced that it would work. Could you explain to me why you think it really, really would work? No, I'm not here to convince you at all. What you can do is go to our website or the people that are here, and they can tell you the results. That's over to you. Louise, what you do is, yes, it shows the full price, but I gave you the code ADHD special. So when you click it, you put in the promo code ADHD special. And when you use that code ADHD special, you'll see, woo, the price drops like $2,000 or something. So publicly, if somebody wants to go buy it right now, they're paying full price. This is an offer only for you until midnight. Some people might see this replay. This offer won't be the same. So register. Any other questions that I can answer? So Louis, do you have any other questions for me? Convincing you is not something that I can do. I'm not going to do it. You've seen what I've said here. If it was interesting for you, if what I'm talking about has some value, then maybe the tests have value too. You see, you've been with me now for about an hour and 45 minutes. You got a feel for who I am and what I teach. I think you can come to your own conclusions if you should continue with therapy sessions and excuses and whatever else. But convince is not what I can do. Is there any other questions I can answer? It's all guaranteed money back. Absolutely. Absolutely. I did the tests on Monday. They're amazing. And I'm now waiting for my results. Yes, Ahmed, I actually got your results. I've actually gone over them already. And I'll be writing to you. I want to do one more thing with you that I need a bit more information on. I'm going to write to you today, I think, or tomorrow. We'll get that data. And then we'll meet again. You see, some people on here already did the tests. Why? Because every client that we work with, that we take on, we do the tests first. Kanilwe, this was an amazing information. Thank you very much. You're very, very welcome. Okay, I really appreciate you taking the time. Gal, when does this expire for us in SA? In South Africa, 6 a.m. 6 a.m. tomorrow. What currency? Yeah, we accept anything. You put in your credit card and it will go through on your card. It's totally fine. Christoph, if you game theory this, if it does not work for you, you get your money back. If it works, you make more money. It's only a win situation. Totally, Christoph. Exactly. Jason, you don't need to do the test, considering that we're already on a program with you. Although, we at some point soon need to do the tests again, but not yet, Jason. I'll tell you when. I understand, Linda. It is 97 USD. It's 97 USD. There are people that are in South Africa that are paying higher than the Canadian exchange rate. Some people pay lower, some people pay USD. We do everything based on 97. And even if it's 40% more, you have like a 2,000% discount. So I think that it's still well worth it. I literally have removed a 2,000% discount. Bernard, I love what GP Gal and Meir Ezra provides. This is like true psychology, religion, multidisciplinary science for everyone. I like that. That's a nice way of putting it, Bernard. Amazing. I really like that. Okay, so I think we got the major wows from today. I think that you have a new way of looking at your problems. Thank you again. Really, really well done for being willing to expand your mind, to challenge what you know, to be willing to say, wow, my symptoms or my problems are not actually what I'm dealing with. There's something deeper here. Yes, Curtis, you can buy it for a friend, of course. It'll be a beautiful gift. It's one of the best gifts you can give someone, is to tell them, I bought these tests for you. The one thing is just make sure that they are willing to do the tests, because it takes about an hour and a half. They need to be interested in actually resolving their problems. If you have a problem that you want to resolve, the tests are for you. Thank you all. What a pleasure to be on with you. You guys participated incredibly. Thank you to Meir. A huge, endless thank you to Meir, not only for the data, but for the care for people, for compiling this, for spending time with you, for offering himself to go over your tests. This is a gift from all gifts. More than me doing it with you one-on-one. The fact that Meir is going to do it with you, priceless. So a big, big, big thank you to all involved. All right, register. Don't wait. I'll put the link in the chat one more time. Whoops, hold on. I think I lost it. Let me put the link in the chat one more time. There we go. ADHD Special is your code. Ahmad, you're welcome. Kiana, love you. Mwah. Bye. Bye, everyone. Thank you for being on. Have a very, very great and productive rest of the week. Bye, everyone. Well done for completing the whole replay. You're at the end of the video now. You have that opportunity only on this video to get it, not for $2,087, but for $197, which is an incredible price. Now, of course, if you have any questions whatsoever, just email info@gprosperity.com right away. Somebody will respond to you and you'll have any question of yours answered. If you want to go over anything, if you even want to do a quick call with one of our coaches just to understand how we can help you, don't hesitate. Reach out to us, and we very much look forward to hearing from you and working with you. Thank you very much, and enjoy this new data. Let it sink in and apply it.